Hi Raneesh. Hi Raj. Hi Satish.
Hi Raj, hi
End,
Raneesh.
end of year. So this might go out in the beginning of the year. Obviously, Maha, Raneesh, you've been working on for months now. The system is up and running. Obviously, we're talking to academics and end users. But one of the groups that I think that obviously you both have good experiences is obviously having been in that position is obviously the systems integrators, the SIs. So the idea of today really is just for us to sort of brainstorm out, think through, how would an SI take advantage of what the AI situation is and AI, opportunities are. From your perspective, Sati, starting off with, where would you, start the discussion?
Raj, I would obviously look at, based on my experience, the whole evolution of system integrator from the perspective of climbing up the ladder of value chain. So you start by basically selling hardware, then you talk about selling solutions. That solutions might fit in their operations.
Right.
One more climb up is looking at certain aspects of their business, could be finance, HR, asset management. So that's again one more climb up the chain. Now what we see is, this is my experience, that then you get stuck at that certain level, you're not able to climb up to the value chain, where SIs will look at margins. SI, they are always challenged for margins.
Right.
you know you end up doing loads of hardware, loads of services, but are you getting to that value chain? So that is where AI, when they start talking to their customers and understand their challenge statements from a business point of view,
Yeah.
and from there on, they climb the value chain by using AI, because everybody knows that the buzzword is AI in everything. So how can AI help solve challenge statements at a logistics level, at a retail level, uh, from a finance perspective, or any of the business aspect, or actually what the customer's business is? Because a lot of times SIs tend to forget that they could be in the business of IT, but the customer is not in the business of it, right? They want something that solves their challenges within their business, their actual business, which can either improve efficiencies, or improve or increase margins, or improve the business in itself.
But okay, so
That
now,
is when that value comes in.
yeah, so now that obviously that value is coming from the IT side. And as we know, when systems integrators are doing projects, they're doing things that it went from the on-premise compute to the cloud. Right? So we're in the next phase now, right?
Yes.
That's
Learn
where
to
Maha comes in.
Yeah. So basically, they can use Maha like from AI perspective, from a simulation perspective. So basically, for example, for a company like a courier company, they can automate their chats like customer care.
Right.
So they can efficiently manage the incoming chats. So they can like segregate what is the important one, what is the unimportant one. So they can use AI chatbots. Okay, so they can use LLM to simulate. They can use AI for that.
So there you go. So you've got a systems integrator that deals with software, that deals with hardware.
Yeah.
You then have obviously Maha that can deliver that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. But there's a big gap still.
Yeah.
How does, like you said, the SIs are in a position where they're literally every day they're answering to tenders, right? They're answering to RFPs, RFQs, RFIs, KFCs, and what they're doing is they're having to work on that model. They're relying on vendors to come to them, right?
Yeah.
Now we're not. Now you can say to some degree, AI is not a vendor driven. Where it might appeal to somebody. So again, we had a discussion with a retailer recently. They talked about having a platform that would sit across all their retail branches, whereas actually AI would use one particular branch, and that individual branch would have its own footprint, its own algorithms, its own demographics, its own data set.
Its own uniqueness
So
of doing
unique
business.
So how do you explain that? How does an SI explain it, understand it, and then give that to their end customer?
See, that's again, if the SIs, if I think most of them are tuned to understand the challenges of the customer, but don't know what tech can bring to them.
Right.
Right. That is only where they are challenged, probably. If we can do that part of it, or if we can be their help them to do that consultative approach and go to their customers, then yes, that can be done because all of them are quite capable SIs in a way to go to customers, understand their challenge statements. Not in a full way, but yes, they are able to do that. But a little bit of training or help or real life scenarios that we can bring them or take them to, they can climb up the value chain.
Like what SV said, the most of the SIs don't know what AI can bring, help them. Okay, so what we can do, we can bring them to our Maha. We can show them how AI works. We can show them some demos, or some examples. We can educate them so they can have some knowledge and go to their customer, pitch it, and then we can help them.
So okay, so basically you're saying there's an education piece,
Yes.
but also I think you said in about margin,
Yeah.
right? The margin's now being squeezed, right?
Yes.
Because obviously there's lots of product that is out there. Now, one of the things that we say, obviously, in tech transfer AI, is that AI will eat software. So where maybe the cloud ate, the on-premise appliances, it's now sort of changing. There's a hybrid.
Yes.
Now AI will eat software, won't it? So you now have a situation where, going back to what you said, yeah, someone can come and see a demo. So what? What if the demo that you show them is like I said, we gave one example recently to an SI about how to simulate paint on a building. So you can then, that building is going to be there for 30 years. Can you paint it 4 times or can you paint it twice, depending on which paint you put on? If you demo it, how will that help?
Yeah.
That's a simulation.
Yeah.
Is that what you want to show them?
Look, what I said is like, there is one they can one way.
Right.
Okay, that
But it's not a normal. It's not a traditional SI thinking, is it?
No.
To think of that. So it's the platforms you have.
Yes,
It's like
yes.
the omniverse and the digital twin.
Yes,
That
exactly.
education is what
Exactly,
you
yeah.
do.
So it will help the system integrators also. Some customer they don't want to go to cloud; they want their own infrastructure. So they can have an on-premise. So they will have the hardware from the system integrator. We can help them getting the AI running the software and the training and the simulation and everything.
So
the running.
Yeah.
So there is also another angle to it because a lot of people say AI. And when we ask them, what is it that they use in what's the hardware that you're using? AI without HPC, compute power.
Yeah,
It's not really AI.
because the SI thinks that it will take over their business.
Right.
Yeah, but they have to see the next level. So what kind of hardware they can sell, and what the next level they can go. So they will add value for them in the market actually.
So I see what you're saying. So basically, combination of the two. What you're saying is you've got Maha. You're happy to rent that out.
Yes.
So people can come. So if you do a simulation of a building, that's a one-off project.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So that means that the SI doesn't have to invest. You will label it as that SI's window. Let's say login. So if they have
Yes.
a customer.
Yes. Yes.
And then from what you're saying, it's obviously in terms of margin, yes, you're saving on the HPC, but it's the value add that you're creating.
Yes.
That in previous times, software will add value to the HR function. You're now adding value to things that are beyond the software part. But having to educate that is the next level, isn't it? That's what we've got to try and do with systems integration.
Yeah, not only the good part is that we believe, Michael, that only 60 to 70% is our tech. The balance, 30 to 40% is always the SI role, key role of putting in the hardware together, the IoT, the sensors, cameras, so many devices that they're putting together, the compute power that they can put together. So in a whole, the whole tech becomes a value proposition, and it creates and enables them to climb up the value chain.
Right.
So now it is no more about cost plus X. It's cost plus X plus Y.
Right. What value are
Customers
you
don't hear
creating?
that. But if we bring value, I'm sure you will pay more.
No, but obviously from an SI perspective, what you've got, like you say, going back to what you said, while there may be a degree of commoditization in an SI service, obviously some have individual branding or some are different sizes. They all will have They will all have a relationship with an end customer, and they have that data. Now we always talk about our industrial domain experts. So we have obviously industrial domain experts in policing, in insurance, in retail, in healthcare. They will add value in the story as well. Is that useful for an SI for them to access our advisors?
Of course, yeah, it will be helpful for them in understanding if they are looking for a particular solution,
Right.
like from a policing perspective, they're looking for something related to law enforcement. Okay,
Right.
so these experts, they know in and out of how they can help. So it is help them develop the AI better for
Right.
this one. So if the client sees a value in a product, they're always ready to invest.
Right.
So it will help the integrators. We can help the SIs with our domain experts.
No, so that helps. I get that, right? So the end user is there. You can target the end user and go to them. SIs traditionally haven't done that, though, have they? They usually answering RFIs.
No, there are scenarios where SIs have if it's a software vendor, for example, there have been business analysts who are there who work within the software domains also. But is that very specific to a particular vertical or a particular business? Not many, right? So in that case, because our domain experts, they talk certain vertical domain niche,
Right.
like policing, right? In policing, it's a particular domain that they
Right.
will work with. Or you look at insurance, in insurance fraud detection. So we have domain experts who work on fraud detection. But previously, when we deploy software, it's across the board. A business analyst knows, a bit of HR,
Right.
and then they depend on the company's HR internal department. They look at how that business is run within that division itself. Now you have a domain expert who actually has worked in that domain, 20-30 years experience, but as well knows how the AI plays, right? That's important.
Right.
That AI play is important, and knows how AI can help that customer to overcome those challenges. And he can even look at that challenge statement of the customer much more in depth. The customer can see probably A, B, C, but there could be which is something which is off the radar, and that could be costing them.
But that's a good point. So traditionally, SIs have worked with the head of IT in company.
Mostly, yes.
Mostly. So that's a change.
That's a change.
So now you have to say to the SI, I know you're talking to the head of IT. You now need to talk to the head of logistics. You now need to talk to the head of food and beverage, maybe, right?
Yeah. That's part of our enablement session.
So how's that going? Is that so you're offering that, right?
Yeah, we will do as part of that enablement sessions with our SIs, and that SIs can bring to us either a challenge statement using their IT contacts, because SIs have pockets, within a customer or within a certain region or entity. So once they have that entry point, that entry barrier is gone off, then it's all about scaling within that customer into various departments. And that is part of our enablement session, which includes going out with the SIs we could go as simple as go to the maintenance department of a manufacturing company, or go to a production head and talk to them how production can be improved, or how if they have a challenge in terms of their return rates are high, what is happening within their manufacturing process. These are things that we can.
So there is a mindset change there that has to happen with the SIs. And again,
it's not even a mindset; it's a paradigm shift.
Paradigm shift. It's a complete. No, but okay, that's one thing that we have to try and help with. And we're not
just to tell the SIs, if I can do it, so can you.
And no, but that's the thing. So we're not saying obviously IT is the blockage in any way. Obviously, IT are always going to be needed, aren't they? So the SI has to work with IT, and the IT are the people that can obviously gain the opportunity as well. But what about when you have a company, an end user, and obviously the SI will form maybe one part. So let's say, as an example, you've got a retailer, you've got someone, an SI may be dealing with the POS because they have a special relationship. You have another SI that might have the contact center, and you have another SI that might deal with the logistics side, right? So there you've got three sort of, and that happens, right?
Yeah, it does
Yeah,
happen,
that
yeah.
happens, right? Because obviously there's a speciality that happens there. Now, what we're also considering is obviously because we work with the universities, obviously the work that I do myself, and obviously we have our tech transfer, we have our interns, we have our tech talent, is that we are doing obviously elements of research. What you have within, let's say, that retailer, you have data sets. Those data sets can go into Maha.
Yes.
They can be modeled in many different ways, and new product and new technologies can be developed. Now, with an SI, he has to go and say, well, actually, we've just developed this, but we need to talk to these other two. The other SIs will feel threatened, right? If they're not on the same page. But that probably happens even with normal software,
Yeah,
right?
it can happen.
It can happen.
Yeah. It's a world of not competition, co-optation.
Co-opetitions
So work together.
to work together, especially when you have more IoT sensors, more data points, things like that, right?
So there we can come in and we can bring all the three sides together, and we
Right.
can agree on a common solution. So that's how we can bring our domain experts and can realize a solution.
We don't like using the word solution.
Yeah.
That's not our job. That's the SI's job.
Yeah.
We're only providing product technology.
Automatically, we were talking about SI.
That's what SI days.
Yes, it is. Yeah, no solution.
So,
When you start talking about business process and solving their challenge statement, the challenges are never
they never
fully solved. Yeah, it
so
never
that's
stops.
yeah, especially with AI, it's continually learning, right?
Yeah.
So that's something which, again, from an SI's mindset paradigm shift, is that when someone says, "Give me a solution," you have to say, "Well, actually," and we've done that with the challenge curve, hasn't we? It could take 4 or 5 years, and we're trying to cannibalize our product, right? We're trying to basically say it will eat away at the problem, so eventually there's only a maintenance fee, but the problem's basically being resolved,
Yeah.
right?
It'll come to zero at a certain point of time. Maybe I don't know if it'll come to zero, but
But it comes to
I'm sure it'll come to a point, a melting point where you can't make any more money.
Exactly.
That's the whole idea of bringing AI, right? It's not about making money continuously, or
You solve the problem.
You can solve the problem and then
Move on.
move on and tackle some other challenges. It's a continuous process, both from an AI perspective and from an SI perspective.
Yeah. No, I mean, so if you look at UAE has a Ministry of AI. See, in the UK and USA and parts of Europe, they have heads of AI, which I still think they're in that phase. They don't quite understand what they're meant to do. So when you bring an external SI or super resellers, value-added resellers into the picture, I think they rely on the product companies. Traditionally, they rely on product companies, right? Obviously, we work with Lenovo. Lenovo have been very good in putting that's Lenovo. I think Lenovo have been very good in providing us, obviously, with access to their ISV programs and other technologies as well. But as a finishing point for today, and obviously we'll have further discussions, I think, around SIs. If you had to give one piece of advice for an SI, to an SI, where to start to learn what to do? I'm going to say, forget us. You can't say, "Oh, they can come and see us." Forget that. If they had to, like over the weekend, extended weekend, what would you expect an SI, a CEO of an SI to do? First thing you would tell him to do.
Okay, so a solution to a problem is not more hardware or more software. The solution to a problem is how to find a solution to make you don't have to sell any more hardware or anything, right?
Right.
So like that, you get a customer for life.
But do you think SIs aren't doing that at the moment?
SI is more, always
sell.
profit oriented. So they
Right.
want to sell more solution, more. So they have partnership with the vendor.
Right.
They bring a solution. Okay, they will pitch to my customer. So like selling more and more.
No, that's a good point. That's a good point. So basically, yeah, you're right. But use on the data that's being gathered now from software and hardware. The systems integrator should start thinking, how do I make that more
Yes,
efficient? And obviously, that's where AI does do that.
yes.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. You can think of one.
Yes. Step back a little. Evaluate what you're currently doing. Are you making what you should be? Both in terms of profits as well as in terms of value to the customer. Are you doing that? If not, where do you need to be? That's the only advice. Or where is the market?
If you don't act now, you'll be.
There is a change.
That's a bit harsh.
No, I mean, one
Nobody's going to go out of business. Let me tell you.
no. I mean, there's, I don't like using the word trends and hype or whatever. There is a lot of hype around it. There's a lot of trends behind it. The fundamentals I think that we bring is obviously is the HPC. Physically, look, there's obviously a heavy investment from a local group that understands it. It's not their traditional business, but they understand where it's going. So that itself is a statement of their intent. And then obviously some of the product development that we're doing, which we want SIs to take. We want SIs to basically be the people that will integrate that. And I guess we need to trust the SI. If an SI doesn't have the AI sort of understanding or the listening to us, how can we give that product to them? How can we, when we open up a lead, bring them to them, right? So I think it's from our perspective, we want SIs to understand this and ask us questions they don't necessarily want to ask maybe someone else. We're open to it, and like I say, you guys are both converted from the SI market into the product side and the HPC side. So I think as an ongoing thing, obviously as Raneesh, you've invited many people to come and see Maha, so that obviously is open. And Satish, you've said you'll do an enablement session over the next months. We'll definitely get those in place. And yes, let's meet again. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to all the SIs who are watching. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the great year.
Did that record okay?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Do you have to do one more time?
Be quiet.